week 3 of the fantasy baseball season. Here's a few pitchers I would sell and trade this week. The first pitcher, Chris Bassitt of the Toronto Blue Jays. Bassitt off to a great start early on in the year. And Bassitt, he's been a solid pitcher over the last few seasons. He's going to eat innings. He's going to go deep into games. He's going to put up respectable numbers. Last year, 171 innings, 10-14 record with a 4.16 ERA. And so far this year, 18 and a third, 1-0 record, 21 Ks, and 0.98 ERA, a 1.09 whip, and 2 quality starts. I know this Blue Jay team in a very tough division, obviously with the New York Yankees, Baltimore Orioles, Boston Red Sox in the division where it's going to be tough at times to win ball games and not give up a lot of runs. But like I said, Bassitt's off to a great start in the first 3 outings of the year. March 30th versus the O's, 6 innings, got the win, 8 hits, a run, 2 walks, 7 Ks, a quality start. April 5th at the Mets, his former team, 6 2/3 in that one, no decision, 4 hits, 9 Ks, a quality start. And April 10th at the Red Sox, 5 2/3, no decision in that game, 5 hits, a run, a walk, 5 Ks. So like I said, he's pitching well. Is Bassitt. His next outing's tomorrow versus the Atlanta Braves, where they've been struggling, obviously, this Atlanta Brave team, to hit the baseball. But Bassitt's going out there, getting the job done, pitching well. But like I said, he's not going to win a lot of games in a tough division in the AL East. It is a contract season, so obviously a little more incentive to go out there as well and pitch good. But like I said, we've seen it with Bassitt, where he'll have respectable numbers at the end of the year, but there's times where he's going to get hit around and give up a lot of runs. So I think once again his ERA will finish in that low 4s to mid 4 range when it's all said and done this season. So his ERA is under a 1 and he's pitching good baseball. He's a sell high pitcher this week. The next pitcher, Kris Bubic of the Kansas City Royals. He was on the list last week and he's been one of the top waiver wire pickups in the first few weeks of the year. On the season for Bubic, 18 2/3, 2-1 record, 21 Ks, and 0.96 ERA, 0.96 whip, and 3 quality starts. But obviously Bubic, a young pitcher, not a lot of experience in the major leagues, and last season only 30 and a third. And we'll see if the league catches up to him and make adjustments. So like I said, anytime you could pick up a player who's unproven and was not really a highly touted prospect and trade him off, obviously on your trade block, this is the time to do it, to pick someone up and get someone with a track record, unlike Bubic, who don't really have one. March 31st at the Brewers, 6 innings, got the win, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. April 6th versus the O's, 6 2/3, got the win, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, 8 Ks, a quality start. And then his latest outing, April 11th at the Guardians, 6 innings, tough luck loser in that one, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, of quality starts. He's pitching good baseball, no doubt about it. But his next outing, a very tough one coming up at the New York Yankees, where I think they can hit him all over the yard, especially in Yankee Stadium, where lefty pitchers have had trouble over the last few seasons. So right now he's pitching great. Like I said, he was a top waiver wire pickup, and anytime you could pick up a player off the wire and flip him in a deal for someone who's consistent, or even a great player who's off to a slow start, these are the type of opportunities I would take and make a deal like that. Next pitcher, Brady Singer, a former Kansas City Royal, now with the Cincinnati Reds, traded for Jonathan India in the offseason. On the year for Singer, 17 innings, 3-0 record, 18 Ks, 0.18 ERA, 1.06 whip, and a quality start. So a few starters in this rotation off to great starts. Hunter Green, best pitcher as of now in fantasy baseball in their early going for them. Nick Lodolo, he's pitching well, and Brady Singer coming out of nowhere after the trade and pitching well. Even though last season he had a respectable 3.71 ERA, is Singer, but the K rate isn't going to be all that great. And like I said, he's off to a good start, but in a hitter's ballpark. And obviously when he warms up even more in Cincinnati, that ball's going to fly out. I think Singer is pitching a little bit over his head, and he's a sell-high pitcher this week. March 31st versus the Rangers, 7 innings, got the win, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, a quality start. April 5th at the Brewers, 5 innings, got the win, 9 hits, 3 runs, a walk, 7 Ks. And April 11th versus the Pirates, 5 innings, got the win, 2 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 3 Ks in that ball game. So Singer, no doubt about it, he's pitching good baseball in the early going for the Cincinnati Red team. But like I said, I don't believe it's going to hold up as the season goes on and as the weather warms up, especially in Cincinnati, where it's a bandbox to begin with. It's April 17th, his next outing, which obviously is a good matchup versus Seattle Mariners, where their offense has had trouble for a few seasons now to go out there and put runs on the board. But like I said, Singer, I just don't buy it's going to continue at this rate. I know the other pitchers in Cincinnati are pitching well, but one of them is due to falter a little bit in this rotation and in the ballpark, and as well, a lot of National League hitters aren't familiar with Brady Singer, and that's been an advantage for him as well. But the more he pitches, obviously, the more, players are going to catch up to him, I believe. Next pitcher, Kodai Senga of the New York Mets. Last season, he missed just about the whole year besides one start. And then in the playoffs, opened a couple games with Kodai Senga. But he's picking up where he left off in the 2023 season. 17 innings, 2-1 record. 16 Ks, a 1.06 ERA, a 1 whip, and a quality start. But the thing with Senga, the pitch counts have been under 80. First 3 outings of the season for Senga. This New York Met team might go to a 6-man rotation at times as well, where he needs that 5th day of rest, where he's still obviously used to how they do it in Japan, where you got 6-man rotations and 5 days rest. So right now, while Senga's pitching good baseball, and this Met team, let's be honest, has had an easy schedule in the early going, 10-5 on the year. He really hasn't had a tough opponent. April 1st at the Marlins, 5 innings, got the loss. 3 hits, 2 runs, a walk, 8 Ks. April 7th versus the Marlins again, 5 innings, got the win. 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. And April 13th at the Athletics, he pitched a gem. 7 innings, got the win. 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, a quality starts. He's off to a good start, is Senga. But like I said, many factors. His pitch count, he hasn't gone deep into games in terms of pitch count. Only 77 pitches has been his highest this season, is Senga. They might go to a 6-man where you're going to lose a start every few weeks here instead of getting at least a couple 2-start starts a week from Kodai Senga. And also, I don't think he's 100% healthy as well. Last season, 2 bad injuries he had, and it took a lot out of Senga. So right now, while he's pitching good baseball, and like I said, they haven't gone to the 6-man yet or anything, is this New York Met team. I would sell Senga this week where his value's at peak, and the 5th and final pitcher I look to sell in trades, Nick Pivetta of the San Diego Padres. Nick Pivetta and this Padre team off to a great start in the early going, and their pitching staff's been lights out, coming off a series sweep over the weekend versus the Rockies, where they didn't give up a run in that series. So on the year, for Pivetta in the early going, 17 innings, 2-1 record, 18 Ks, a 1.59 ERA, 0.82 whip, and 2 quality starts. So Pivetta, no doubt about it, he's been an innings eater throughout his career. He's been a swing man as well. Last year was a down year, though, 6-12 record, 4.14 ERA, but he did have 172 Ks and 145 and 2/3 for Nick Pivetta, and he's fitting well, like I said, with the San Diego Padre team. Like I said, he starts off good some seasons, and then obviously he struggles, and so far in the early going, he's pitched well besides one outing. March 30th versus the Braves, 7 innings, got the win. A hit, no runs, 4 Ks, a quality start. April 5th at the Cubs, he got roughed up, 3 innings, got the loss. 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 walks, 4 Ks. And April 11th versus the Rockies, another gem, 7 innings, got the win in that one. 3 hits, no runs, a walk, 10 Ks, a quality start. So the one thing with Pivetta, the Ks are going to be there, obviously, but I believe the ERA isn't going to be under it too, obviously, all season long for Nick Pivetta. And this Padre team, while their pitching has been good, their schedule has been favorable at times as well. And we saw in the one outing versus a good hitting team like the Cubs, he got roughed up, like I said, Pivetta. So coming off a great outing versus a bad offense in the Rockies, this will be the time, I think, for owners to put him on the trade block and see if you could get good value for him. So that's a few pitches I look to sell and trade for week 3 of the fantasy baseball season.